Hey, I'm here today with Christy Baker. I'm Bob Osborn with Grace Care, and Christy, we're excited to come together and talk about aging with Grace in Enid, Oklahoma. And we wanted to start with RSVP and what you guys do and what's your mission. So can you speak to a little bit about what's the mission of RSVP?
The mission of RSVP is to create a holistic approach to aging for our seniors. And that means providing a whole care program. So everything from volunteering all the way to admission to a nursing home. We try to create networks and partnerships that allow the aging process for seniors to be as easy and the segue as easy as possible for that senior and their families.
When you say that, what comes to mind is aging isn't for sissies, you know, because it can be rough. You know, as I age, I see things. You know, one of the things I wanted to talk about this morning was, and I think you guys do a really good job of addressing this, is how much isolation has an effect on the senior aging process. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Absolutely. And I'll say for our Mobile Meals program, which is the hub of most of the things that we do, what we do encounter is that a lot of times we are the only eyes and ears on that senior. And it does provide a lot of help and hope for the families that maybe are still working or are out of state. And that senior sometimes is just terrified that, what if I fall? You know, I don't have anyone to contact. There have often been times that a senior comes in to sign up for the Mobile Meals program, and there's a part there where we ask for their emergency contact. And so many times, you know, with teary eyes, and they grab our hands and say, I don't have anybody. And what used to be a life outside of them no longer exists like that any longer. So we provide that companionship, that safety net to allow them to know that someone will be checking on them, and they're not just an address. You know, they're a person and we care about them. So we provide mobile meals to 150 people every Monday through Friday. But that doesn't stop there, because the isolation is still there. You know, they're not just lonely from 8 to 4 when we're at the office. So we do have lots of programs to help just deter that isolation. One of them, too, is our transportation program, because we need them to get out. We need them to know that, you know, they have the ability to get out and roam about the cabin, you know, if they want to. And that also spurred us into reopening our senior center, so that those guys that once felt like the four walls are closing in on them now have a transportation to get them out of the house, and then the senior center to go to, and new friends to have, celebrations, and start to reintegrate themselves back into, you know, normalcy, if you will, and not even just from COVID, but just feeling like they are isolated.
Well, tell us a little bit about the senior center. When is it open? What's the activities that go on down there?
Yeah, so the Senior Center has just been a huge blessing. Kim Blankenship is our director there. We are open Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And Tuesdays and Thursdays we have bingo days, which are a big time for us. She just celebrated National Senior Day. And yesterday was Luau Day. They have lots of activities. We have speakers. We want to keep them informed too of scams and frauds that are going on. We want them to be advised of, you know, the new COVID precautions, or if they need assistance getting shots or anything like that. We try to keep them informationally informed with the aging processing of different organizations. So blood pressure checks and mental health and all of the different things. So it varies. We do have a calendar each month that we have on our website, and that they can come into the office and ask us, or go down to the senior center and just check it out.
Well, great. So I know that you rely very heavily on volunteers, and so tell us some of the volunteer opportunities you have at RSVP.
Well, namely, it's our Mobile Meals program for sure, because we enact 453 volunteers, and it used to be over 1,000. But with COVID, you know, our volunteers aren't able to get out and you know, volunteer in the places they used to go, just because most things are still kind of, you know, at bay and shut down a little bit. But namely, one thing that we do always need volunteers for is the Mobile Meals program. And it's so easy and it's so rewarding, again, because knowing that you might be the only person that senior sees in a day, And then lots of volunteers bring their children, and seniors love to see those kids,
right.
and the cards that they write, and just the difference that it does make. So we're very heavy on the volunteer need for mobile meals, and it's so easy. You pick up at either hospital at 10:30, and then you deliver a route, and they're disseminated by different neighborhoods so that you're not driving all over town, and it takes about an hour. And the reward you get as a volunteer, I think, is just as much as that senior, not getting just the meal, but that companionship and someone else to know and love them.
I know at Grace Care, we volunteer on Tuesdays. We have somebody from our team that goes and delivers, and the stories they come back with of how much they enjoy getting to meet the people and deliver those meals. So tell us a little bit about, I've got an older parent sitting at home and they're just kind of vegetating. How can I get them involved in some of the stuff that RSVP is doing?
Oh, email us, call us, Facebook us. We are easily accessible depending on what their need is. A lot of times, mom and dad, just don't want to get out, or they don't feel well, but they still want to do something. Our companionship program, which is just a telephone buddy reassurance program, they can make phone calls to people. Just, hey, Bob, how are you today? Just, reminding you, maybe take your medication, or, happy 4th of July, or whatever the holiday is, or just calling to chat. So if they are physically limited, that is fine. There's still every opportunity for them to volunteer. And if they have special needs that, like maybe we just say, if you could wave your magic wand and you could help one social issue in the world, what would it be? And then that kind of helps us determine what that volunteer wants to do, because we want to make sure that their time is being productive for them too. So we want to pair that volunteer with a specific job duty that might be there. I mean, we have job opportunities or volunteer opportunities in almost 12 counties now. So.
Okay, well, tell me, I don't think I've heard about telephone buddies before. Tell me a little more about that.
Yeah, so we have other volunteers, especially in this time. We're talking about isolation, and, when last year about this time, everyone just, was kind of just, like the rest of us. We just didn't know what to expect, and the angst and the worry about what tomorrow brings, and you are isolated or you don't have contact with people every day. We instituted a telephone buddy program where we have other volunteers, just like I talked about, that maybe wanted to do something or could no longer volunteer in their position, say at the hospitals, but still wanted to give back. So we started that program, and then they call, starting with our mobile meals people or anyone that has called in, or their parents or their children have indicated that, mom and dad just might need a phone call. And so then they set up that system. So whatever that conversation would look like between two people, call me every day, or call me at night, or call me in the morning. So it's been very rewarding, just allowing them to know that this isolation isn't just their own problem. It's far-reaching, and we're just trying to do everything we can to combat that.
What a great opportunity for someone sitting at home that still wants to contribute, still wants to, feel like they're doing something of value, to be able to just pick up the phone and call people and say, hey, how are you doing today? Do you have a system set up, like if they don't answer, is that a cause of concern?
Yeah.
We go check on them?
Yes, that's exactly right. So we make sure, just like we have the red flag policy, just like with mobile meals, there are 3 steps. So you make contact, so delivering a meal, say, you knock on the door and you need to at least make sure that you see that person. And then if you don't, then you give them a call. And then if they don't answer, then they call us at our office, and then we call their emergency contact person. Sometimes it's just that they're at the doctor and they forgot to tell us, and we're grateful for that. But if it's a larger issue, then yes, we do go to the home and then get a hold of that emergency contact person to make sure they're okay.
What a great program. I can speak from experience. I know of several different people that have laid on the floor for hours because they didn't have anybody to check on them. And if they'd had this phone call, what a great difference it could have made in their life. Well, Christy, we're out of time for today. That went really fast.
Did go fast.
And we're going to have you back sometime and talk some more, or have Candace or someone from your office come back, because I know there's a lot more we could talk about. Thank you for coming on the Aging with Grace show today, and we'll look forward to seeing you all again.
Thank you.